Let me just do a side. Okay, so good evening, all of you. I will start the paper 3, right? So we have divided this paper among two of us teachers. So I'll teach you the statistics portion, and another teacher will be teaching you the mathematics portion. All right. So here, so I'll be comfortable in English, not in Hindi. Okay. So hope you all will be okay with this. And if you see the book, I hope you all have the book. Okay. So here in paper 3, the portion that I'll be covering, right? It will be from module 5, sorry, module 4. Okay, please take out this page, 235. Is it okay, those who are in online? Can you all hear me?
Yes, sir.
Okay, fine.
Yes, sir.
So here in module 4, okay, and before I start, how many of you are from commerce background? Commerce background. Science? No. So initial things, do you all have maths in up to class 12? No, no, raise your hand, just I want to see this once. All right. So here, initial portions are very easy. Even if you did not have mathematics in your up to class 12, so some of the portions are known to you, like frequency, polygon, histogram and all. So initial things are very easy as compared to the later portions. All right. So today we'll give brief discussion on all this. Okay. So next class onwards, things will be little higher and difficult. All right. So take out the page number. Take out the page number 237. It's a module 4, the introduction part. Here, it's all the introduction parts. You just go through once, because I think by this time you all know the paper will be MCQ based. Okay, you'll have options. Out of these, you need to select the correct one, right? So, introduction and all is the basic things. So I suggest you all go through once, okay? And then the portion which is the second one, I started 4.1, module 4. It has some sort of divisions like 4.1, 4.2 and all. So 4.1 also I don't have much to explain, because you are, you are well, you know all these topics already well, because you see the first one, 4.1, it is the line chart, okay? It is the line chart. So line chart is something like this. When the data is represented in the form of line. So it may be a line like this, or it also may be a straight line like this. I hope you all know, when it is a straight line, it is called line graph. It is called a line graph. Any representation of data when you do. So when it comes this way, it is a line graph, but unbroken, not broken. But when the line is like this, so it is also a line graph, but it is broken. Broken in the sense it has some divisions like this, so and so on. So this is also a line graph. But the first one which I have shown all, to you, it is straight, right? So it's straight means it is a linear graph, straight. You all know the term linear. Linear means straight. So when it comes in terms of this graphs representation, and representation, suppose we have 4 different places. Okay, we have some numbers like this, 10, 20, 30, and 40, for example. So we plotted this way and joined them by straight lines. So when it comes, it's a straight path or a straight line after joining all these points, then it is a linear graph. So this is a linear graph. And if it comes broken like this, I told you, it is a line graph, right? So the first thing, you see line chart or the line graph. This is simply the thing, the way I have plotted, you can also plot, and plotting and all we don't have because it's a MCQ based direct, to the point question answers. You have to interpret. Interpret means what? You have to read the graph. From the graph, you need to get the correct options. Okay, so line chart is there. Then go to the next, bar graph. Bar graph, page number 248. These things are very, easy and not new to you. So I will go a little fast. Bar graph. Bar graph, I hope all of you know again. Yes or no? So bar graphs, we can have different sort of bar graphs. Like this. Okay, I hope you all know bar graph and all. Yes or no? So I have nothing to explain on this. Again, construction or drawing of the bar graph doesn't come. What comes is interpretation. From the graph, you need to get the correct options. So when the bars are double, for example, one bar is here like this, other one is double. Okay, comparison of two data. Suppose your marks in class 11 and class 12. Okay, so you got suppose 60 here, you got 70. So it's your marks in a particular subject. Okay, so we are representing them together. All right, so this is a double bar graph. So then again in your other class, okay, when you show the same thing together, so this sort of graphs are called double bar graph. I hope that is also known to you, right? Now coming to page number 249, pie chart, pie diagram. I hope you are also aware of this. Its construction is given. Here we'll do one particular question, how to get the graphs, because although it is not new, but interpretation comes from that. I hope you also know this pie chart. Okay, now election is coming, right? We'll see this in election, and we also find this in the cricket matches. IPL is also going on at the same time. Yes or no? So all this, when the data are represented here in terms of angles, do you notice? So suppose this is a political party A, political party B, C, D, and E. So their representation when you show, and now it will be shown live in the news channels. Yes or no? So when you get all this angular representation in the form of circle, this is called circle graph. This is called circle graph, or it is also called pie chart. If I'm not wrong, you got it in class 8 or 7 or 9 like this pie chart. Okay. Now, since the construction will not come, but angles might be asked. So I start today's class with one question from pie chart. All right. So let's start these things. So with this, what is that? Our 4.1 will be over. Okay. As I told you, things are very easy initially. So we should not waste time in all these easy things. But anyway, the interpretation might come. So I start one question from pie chart, and with this, let us start module 1. Module 1. It's module 4, 4.1. Right? Okay. So let's start a question on pie chart. Construction and all you need. We need how we can get the central angles that is to be represented for all these given data. Okay. So better I should write the question on a particular day. On a particular day, the sales in rupees of different items in a baker's shop. Hope everything is okay. Can you understand? Yes. Are given below. So I did out on a particular day, the sales in rupees of different items in a baker's shop are given below. So these are items. Okay, and these are the sales in rupees. Sales in rupees. All right. So supposing bread, supposing biscuits, supposing cake or pastries, right, sweets and others. Okay, so here the sales are supposing 320 rupees and 120, then suppose 160, then suppose 80 and 40. Check the total. Check the total. How much it is? Is the numbers are okay? 320. So it will be 440, right? Then how much it is? 720. Okay, all right, 720. Now what I'm saying is, how to get the pie chart is not our aim. What comes in exam is the pie chart will be drawn. So based on the pie chart, we'll be trying to write the answers. Okay, and that is also MCQ form only. One question you have to select and get the correct option for that. Now, when you try to draw the pie chart for this given data, what you should do here is simply you have to get the central angle. Simply you need to get the central angle. So central angle. I don't have space. I'm writing in symbol. So you need to get a central angle. Now, what is central angle? Central angle is the angle that defines, okay, that defines the particular item in the given circle. So I'll explain more properly now, but before that, let us try to find out the central angle for each data. So question comes, what are the central angle for this given data? So this way we'll find the central angle. Now to get a central angle, add all this. As you have already told, it is 720, okay? So do you notice now what to do? The fractional parts to be considered. Now the fractional parts here it will be 320 out of 720. Now central angles, what does it mean? The item braid will occupy how much angle in the center of the circle. That is the central angle. Now to get the central angle, this is the fraction for braid. The 320 rupees was the sale out of 720. Now it is simply to be multiplied by 360. Why 360? Because in a circle, I hope you all know this, in a circle, the total angle is covered is always, that's why we multiply it by 360 degree. Yes or no? Now, to get this, all right, you just cancel it. I hope it is 2. Then if you cancel it, so what is the first central angle? 180 degree. Done. I just do one more and you try the rest. So this is your 120 degree, 120 rupees out of the total, I hope you know this already. Then multiply it by 360. Now if you cancel, you know, 36 into 2, so 2 into 60. So this central angle will be 60 degree, right? Is it okay? Done. Now find the central angle for the next. Start showing the central angle for this. Yes, please say 160. How much it will be? For 160, what will be the central angle? 80. I hope it is correct. Then I think 40 and then 20 degree. So these are the central angles. Now I hope you have learned this in the other classes that, is it correct? This is? Sorry, first one is 160 degree. Okay, so it should be 160 degree. The first one is 160, correct now? So 160, then rest 60, and I hope you notice that the total of all this, if you do it, it must come 360. If it doesn't come, then it is wrong, something wrong in the calculation. Okay. Now, so table is ready. Table is ready. Now plotting, or you know, showing in the graph, roughly, because no, you know, protector and all to be used. So what we'll do, just the first one, what is the angle? 160. So we just measure here 160. Okay. So you all know how to measure. So this is 160 degree, supposing 160 degree for which item? For the item bread, right? Then the 60 degree. So we'll keep on doing. We continue. So supposing this is 60 degree for biscuits. Okay. Then this angle is 80. Suppose this is 80 degree for the item cake. Then the 40. Suppose this is 40, rough only. Okay. So 40 is for What is that? Switch. Okay, all different type of switch, and this remaining 20 degree is the others. All right. So this is what a pie chart is. Right. Now, what question comes in the paper? We have seen in the previous years, angle is given. Are you getting my point? So I'll now write down a question. This is the basic things that you should know. Question doesn't come like this. Now, what question comes in your paper? Okay, the angle is given. Total sale is given. What is the sale for the item supposing cake? So what I'm trying to mean is the question comes in a converse way. All right, it's converse means the angle. So I go to the next page. For cake, it was how much? 880, right? So the question comes like this: the central angle for the item cake. Supposing this angle is 80 degree, was it 80? Okay. Suppose we can change also. Now the total sale was suppose 720 degree. I'm coming saying in terms of this question. Now central angle is 80 degree. Total sale is this. Which of the following, question comes like this, if I'm making it short, okay? Now the question is, out of the 4 options, A, B, C, D, okay? Out of the 4 options, which is the correct sale, or which is the sale for the item cake? So we got answers. The sale, it was, I think, 160 rupees, 180 rupees, or supposing 90 rupees, or suppose 100 rupees. So you need to find the correct option. Now, to get this option, you have to proceed in the converse way. How? Anybody? How will you find it? Which is the correct cell? Forget about the answer from there. How will you find it? What should be the procedure? What you will do? The item cake is occupying how much angle? The item cake is occupying how much angle? 80 degree, right? So, just a minute. So, the item cake is, because it is MCQ paper, okay, no procedure, nothing is, you need the answer, correct answer, that's all. So, cake is occupying 80 degree in the where? In the pie chart. Now, 80 degree out of how much? Out of, I just show it once, then it will be clear. So, the item cake is occupying here 80 degree. Out of total circle means out of what? Out of 360 degree. So what calculation you will do? Simply 80 out of 360. So that is done. Now multiply it by 700. Answer. Okay. So this way you will proceed. Right. So as I told you already, question doesn't come like this. But if you do not know the basic, things, you cannot attempt the questions over there. Right. Done. So 4.1 is this much, line graph, bar graph, and what I discussed, this circle graph, okay? So easy things, known things, you should not make mistake, okay? So it is easy, so I could not do it, or I did not study. It should not happen like this, all right? Now, coming to frequency distribution, 4.2, right? Here also the terms are known to you. Look at these terms, once you read it yourself, okay? Variable, then what are telemarks, what are frequencies. Then we used to make tables. We used to make tables like this. We used to make, this type of tables. I have learned in junior classes only. Telemarks, do you remember? All this sort of. So here, whichever data is, suppose it is the height. So data is about what? Is the variable. So it is about supposing the height of the students, or so and so on. So the data is about what is the variable. Then we keep on counting by putting it's a bundle of 5. You all know this. So then we write the number here. So the bundle we make with the lines, telemarks. This is called telemarks. And this is just counting. That is called frequency. So these terms are known to you. And that is telebars. It is also sometimes known as telebars. You see, telebars are written there. Then, type of frequency distribution. Go to the next page. Type of frequency distribution. Discrete and group. I'll come to this. I'll explain there right now. Then, go to the next page. It is page number 253. Page number 253. This is the basic terms of statistics, raw data, continuous variable. You go through once, very rare question comes very rarely from all this. Okay? So upper class limit, lower class limit, I hope all of you know. You know this? Classes when we write. Okay? So I give some idea about the classes. Otherwise, I have nothing to explain in 4.2. So when the data is large, look at this. Suppose the heights of 60 students we are trying to note down. Okay? Try to understand. You don't have to write. Suppose you are trying to write the heights of 60 students in a table. Okay? Now, since there are 60 students, it is supposing not the same class student almost have the same height. So supposing the students are from class 5 to class 12. So they will have different heights. Supposing the height is 75 centimeter in centimeter. Okay? Supposing the other one has height 140. Okay? Supposing the other one is 163, so and so on. Okay? And one more, suppose his height is 173. Now, if you observe the data, if you observe this data, the data expansion is large. Expansion means the smallest one is here, 75. The highest one is here, 173. So there is a large expansion of data. So when you try to represent them in the tabular form, supposing you now want to write that in a tabular form, right? So you know these three columns should be there in the table. Now, where do you write, what is the variable? The variable is heights, the height. Now here we of course write telebars or telemarks, okay? I'm writing telebars, and here we write the frequency. Here the frequency is the number of students. We are having all those heights. Now, so to now write it in the table, you see 75, suppose then 76, 77, so and so and so on, 173. So we have to write more than 90 times in the table. Is it practically feasible? Practically it's difficult to write in this sheet of paper. All this we cannot do. So that is when I said when the data is large. If the data is small means expansion is small. Supposing the lowest one is 75 and the highest one is suppose 82. Highest one is suppose 82. So in that case 75 to 82, it's hardly 8-9 data are there. So we can then plot them directly, 75, 76, 77 up to 82. So data expansion is small data. So when the data is small, I'm now explaining, I was explaining this large data. When the data was small, some small expansion, then we do not go by class intervals. We do not make classes. So now these classes, this data with no class, is not appropriate for this because we cannot exactly plot them. Now what we need to do here is, since the data expansion is big, large, so we need to make them in groups. Now suitable groups, that is sometimes given or sometimes you have to choose yourself. Now if you choose yourself, this is like the first one is 75, so we can make group like this. Sorry, just a minute. We can make group like this, 70 to 80, you know this? Then 80 to 90, then it's your, whichever is suitable for you. 90 to 100, you can take 70 to 90 also. Okay, so and so on. I won't write everything. 110, so and so on. The last one is 173. So which one will do last? 170 to 180. So now the data are expressed in what? In groups. Now when they are expressed in groups, it is known to you again, I believe. This 80, where to calculate? Where to count this 80? Supposing 80 has come, you will put telemark here or the second one? Second one. Because actually to make it continuous, I'm coming what is the continuous is. So although it is 70 to 80, the 80 we do not count here. 80 we count where? In the second one. Okay. Now while doing this, that means although it looks 80 twice, means in the first and the second, so we take actually 70 to 79. Supposing decimal is not there. If decimal is there, 79.9. Is it okay? If decimals are there, 79.9, because the next one will be 80. Yes or no? So when 80 comes, we take it here. When 90 comes, we take in the second one. So actually it is 90 to 99 if it is a round figure. If it is a decimal, then 99.9. Now in this representation, the groups which you have divided, it is there. The groups are called what? Class. Groups are called classes. Groups are called classes or class intervals. The groups are called class intervals, right? So in each class interval, every group is a class. Okay, like the class 6, 7, 8, 9. So like that, every group is a class here. So in the first class 70 to 80, the smaller number is called lower class limit. The bigger number is called the. So here in the first one, this is the lower class limit. This is the upper class. This although I think it is known to you, because these things will be required again and again in our syllabus. That's why today in the first class I want to give a brief discussion on this so that you will not get have any confusion. So 70 to 80. So lower class limit is 70, upper class limit is so lower 80, upper 90. Okay. So like this, the upper and higher class limit. Now class size, or it is also called class width. I hope this is also known to you while doing mean, median, mode in the other classes. So the class width is simply the class gap, what gap they have. All right. So the gap is 70 to 90 minus 80. Just you have to subtract 80 to 90. There are 10 numbers. Yes or no? So 90 to 80, the gap is 10. So the class width is 10 or class size is 10. All right. Then if now classes are like this, you keep a note of this, and that one is to be done in the next topics. If the classes you have written 70 to 79, 80 to 89, 90 to 99, 100 to 109, and so on. If you have written the classes like this, is also allowed to write, because when you write 70 to 80, we don't take only this 80. So better we can write directly 70 to 79. Now when you write like this, okay, it is a group data, that is fine, groups are there. It is a group data, but discontinuous, not continuous. So it is not continuous. Since it is not continuous, okay, we cannot go for all representation of data. Data must be continuous. So if it's not continuous, before doing any question of statistics that we have in our syllabus, okay, if it is not continuous, okay, questions are there, the large calculations to be done, and 1 mark question only. Okay, you will see in the books, you will understand what I'm saying. You need to do lots of calculation, but only 1 mark for one answer. Yes or no? Correct answer. So these things cannot be repeated again and again. So when the data comes not continuous, that means classes comes like this, the same number doesn't repeat. Had it been 80, 80, 90, 90, then it is continuous. Since now it is not continuous, we need to make them continuous. How? 0.5 plus minus. Yes or no? So actually where this 0.5 comes, from where? What is the gap for which it has not come continuous? 80, 79 gap, no? One gap. Yes or no? So that one gap you divide by 2, half. Half means how much? 0.5. That 0.5 comes from there. Now this 0.5, what you will do? In this, you have to minus. In this means in the lower limits. And in the upper limits, what to do? Plus 0.5, and it becomes continuous. Now how? I won't write it here. Just you see, if you keep, okay, let me show you once. Now if you try to make it continuous, so here we are trying to make it continuous. Now when you make it continuous, as I told you, from lower limit, we need to subtract 0.5. Now if you subtract 0.5, 70 minus 0.5 will be 69. Let us subtract here 79.5, then 89.5, 99 and so on, right? In the upper limit, if you see, here 0.5 plus, so it will be like 0.5 addition, yes or no? 89.5, 99.5 and 109.5. And with this, you all can see here, same numbers just come, yes or no? So it became continuous. You see, 89 came, it has 99.5, so it became continuous. Okay, we need to make it continuous while doing questions. Okay, particularly representation. Right now, come to what is that? 4.3 subdivision 4.3. Okay, it's a graphical representation of frequency distribution. 4.3. Can I start? Okay. The first one, which is already explained, is circle graph. You see, the first one is a circle graph. We have already discussed. Yes or no? The second one is histogram. The second one is histogram. You see this in page number 259. Page number 259. One histogram is drawn. I hope you all know the difference between histogram and bar graph. What happens in histograms? All these bars come attached to each other. They do not have any gap. Yes or no? So this sort of data is histogram. The bars are attached. Sometimes it is there in class 10 textbook, I think. Sometimes the bars comes one bigger, one smaller. That also allowed, but the gap is not there. Okay. So just 1 minute. Just a minute. I just see once here frequency polygon is the first. Okay, all right. So before I start this question, let us start a question to get the frequency histogram. Okay, so write a question. Then I'll start from there. Okay, we'll do one question of histogram roughly. Okay, we don't have to do very properly, but you must have the knowledge how this question to be completed. All right. Right. It's all about histogram. Okay. Question number 2. Suppose draw a histogram. Draw a histogram for the following distribution. Draw a histogram for the following. This construction drawing doesn't come, although we are doing. Okay, so we will be asked questions to answer from the graph. Draw a histogram for the following data. Okay, now very easy initial things. This is actually the easiest one of histogram. Then I have that question, which we will do together. Okay, so I'm taking a very short question. Okay, so once again, I'm taking heights only, heights in centimeter of some students in a class. So these are a number of students. These are a number of students. So height doesn't start from 0 to 10 to nobody is having height. Yes or no? So let us take from at least 100. Okay, supposing senior students, then 110 to 120, 120 to 130. 130 to, and suppose the last one is 140 to 150. Okay, so suppose here 3, then 7, then 8, then suppose 4, and okay, rough question, rough diagram. Okay, now to draw a histogram, as I told you, what is your first observation? Continuous or not? That is always the first. The data is continuous or not? If not, we'll make it continuous. Now data is continuous, because the repetition of same data, yes or no? So there is no question of making it continuous. If not continuous, then modification to be done in the table. Table we need to modify, right? Now, since it is continuous, direct plotting, and these are to be represented in x-axis. These are to be represented along y-axis. Okay. because they are the dependent one. They are depending on this. This many height, this many students. So how many students are there in that height? So it depends, right? So that is why this independent one is along x-axis. So you know this is x-axis, this is your y-axis. Now to plot it, what's the first number? 100. So I hope you know these sort of things, that when it doesn't directly start from 0, so we use a what? This sort of line. It is called kink, K-I-N-K, kink. Zagged line also it is called sometimes, zagged. Kink, zagged line, or sometimes broken line also. Okay, so this kink, with what for it is used? To show that some numbers we are not writing. Okay, so we will not now, since it is drawn, the kink is drawn, let us not write from 0, 10, 20, 30, 40, let us directly start from 100. Okay, so we start from 100, then 200, okay, then 300, then 400, sorry. It is 100, then what is the next gap? 110, yes or no? So 100, 110, 120, 130, 140, 150. All right, done. Now what we will do, these numbers are small, so we can directly take 0, 1, the highest one is 8, so we can take 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, right. Now direct bars, bar means rectangular bar, rectangles that means, okay. So 100 to 110 there are 3 students, so it's just like this, yes or no? Okay, let me take a different color. So it is 3 students, the first one is having 3 students. Then since it is the repetition of data, that means continuous, so next one will immediately start from 110. So 110 to 120 it is 70. It is 70, right? Then 120 to 130 it will be 8, so 8 here itself, okay. Then 130 to 140 is 4, okay. Then last one is 5, last one is, okay. So this is the histogram, basic histogram, okay. Is it okay those who are online? All right. So now histogram is ready. So as I told you, this is the basic, very simple histogram that you already know. Now what I'm saying is, in the histogram also, we can draw one more graph from the histogram that is called frequency polygon. Okay. So these things are in my PDF. Okay. So frequency polygon, what to do? It's very simple, as I told you. Just you have to find out the middlemost term or the middlemost observation. So 100 to 100, it will be the middlemost one. Just you have to mark the point. So it is the middlemost one, middlemost one, middlemost one. That means where 110, 100 to 110. No, you have to find the 105, middlemost one. So like that, 115, 120. Okay. So just you draw them or join these points. Just you join these points. Just you join these points. Okay. In order. Okay. Now it is not a polygon till now. What you have to do? You have to complete. Now where to complete? You know, this is the last point. So it should be completed. You know, here. Now what is that point? 100. If you can think 105, 115, 125, 100. Yes or no? 130 middlemost point. 135, 100. So it should be 100. And where to do the next? Where to do the next? Where is this? 105. The other one will be, previous one will be to be done where? Join to 95. Now since here I use the king, if a question of frequency polygon comes, you don't use king from directly 100. Where to do? From 90. Why? Because this to be joined to 90, 95. So right now it is okay. So it should join to the previous and the last class mark. This is called, the middlemost value is called class mark. Okay. So with this, all the basic things are over. Okay. Now let us start the same module 4.3 frequency polygon again. Okay. Is it over? So this line graph is called frequency polygon. It has to be closed because I hope you know polygon is a closed figure. So it has to be closed like this. Now how did it become closed? Like this and with the x-axis. It has become a closed figure. So it's a frequency polygon, right? Now histogram, actually it's my last year's PDF. So discuss in the last class means I discussed this everything there in the last class itself. Now, just a minute. Okay. You don't have to write the question. I'll be sharing this PDF later in your WhatsApp groups. Okay. Now, histogram type 2. Now, what is this type 2? Type 1 that we have done this just now. That is the very basic one. Okay. Now, question, as I told you, doesn't come to draw histogram, but questions can be asked from this. Okay. Now, look at these questions carefully. It can be, anybody, any idea how to make it larger, zoom? Is it? Huh? Is it? Yes. Okay. All right. Okay. Now look at this. This is type, as I told you, it is type 2. Now you see the difference. Okay. From here, it is a bit important. Okay. Now I told you it is type 2. The reason is the data itself. You look at this question. A random survey of the number, you don't write, I'll be sharing this. A random survey of the number of children of various age groups playing in a park was founded as below. Right? Now look at the age groups. The groups are 1 to 2, 2 to 3, 3 to 5, 5 to 7, 7 to 10, and 10 to 15, then 15 to 17. First question, is it continuous or not? Yeah, continuous or not? Continuous means what? Where it ends, next one starts from there. Continuous or not? Yes, it is ending at 2 and this one is starting with 2. Ending at 3, starting at continuous. But there is a problem. The problem here is, anybody? You know this. Tell me. The problem here is data is continuous, that's fine. But class sizes are not equal. Now class width, I told you no class width, we have to subtract these, yes or no? Now class width, if you take, class width means the class gap. Now if you see the class width, if you try to find the class width, the class gap, 2 minus 1, 1. 3 minus 2, 1. 5 minus 3, again 2, again, then, so that is this. The next type of histogram, what should be done for this? Okay, so when the data is continuous, but unequal class sizes, type 2. Type 1 is continuous, class sizes were also equal. Now type 2, continuous fine, but class sizes are not equal. Okay, so in this situation, so since the class sizes are not equal, so we need to modify the table. Now how to modify the table? Here is the, okay, as I told you, don't have to do it. If you will practice at home later. Since it is, question is drawing the histogram and the classes are not continuous but unequal class sizes, tables to be modified. Now to modify this table is the answer. What you have to do is, you have to find the frequency density. Okay, you have to find the frequency density for this. Okay. Just a minute, it has come here, number of. The PDF has gone wrong, okay. So, how to modify this table? Okay, so for that, as I told you, this is the table. So here, first you find the class width. Class width means the class size, class gap. So if you now find the class gap, say just now we have discussed 2 minus 1, 2. Then, sorry, 2 minus 1 is 1. Yes, next, then then 2, then 2. Understood, no? The difference only. Then 2, 2. Sorry, let me write this 2 before. 2 times, right? Okay. So 2, 2, then 3, 5, and 2. Okay, ready? Now what we will do, we will find the frequency density. Formula is I have already given. How to find the frequency density? F by H. F by H. F is 5. 5 by H. H is how much? 1. Here one more term is there. Multiply, what is that? Frequency by class size. Multiply by the lowest class size. Multiply by the lowest class size. The rule is like this. Multiply by the lowest class size. Now, I not considered for this question because the lowest class size is how much? These are the class size, no? Lowest class size is how much? So, 1 multiplying by 1 is having no meaning. That's why for this question it is not done. But I give you the appropriate one. Actually, how to get this frequency density. Please keep a note of this. The frequency density formula is the frequency density formula is frequency by class size to be multiplied by the lowest class size, to be multiplied by, may have little less space, lowest class size. Okay? So this is how a frequency density can be obtained, not for this question, because here the lowest class size is how much? 1. So multiplying by 1 we get the same number, so it's not written for this question. Now this is the formula to get the frequency density, right? So let us now find it by this, not by this. Now frequency how much? 5. Frequency 5 by F by H. H how much? 1. Multiplied by the lowest class size. Which is the lowest? 1. So multiply it by 1. What is the number? 5. Okay. Keep doing. Frequency, I have less space here. It will not work. Okay. Now, frequency, the next one is, keep saying, F is 3. This one, huh? Not in order. 3 by 1 multiplied by, so 3. So next, 6. Now 6, yes or no? It is like this, huh? Like this. Okay. Now this one. What is that? 6 by 2 multiplied by. How much it will become? Originally it was how much frequency? 6. Now it has become, I'll explain why it is required. Then say the next. 12 by 3 multiplied by 1. Is it correct? Frequency by H. Is it 3 or 2? Which class was this? 5 to 7, right? Oh, it was 2. This number was 2. Okay. So this number was, both are 2, right? Means 3 times 2. Is it correct now? So this is 12 by 2 multiplied by 1. How much? 6. Keep finding like this. Then 9 by, so one number missed out, right? Okay. Which number? It 2, how many times? 1, 2, 3. 1, 1, 2, 2. This one 3. 2, that's what I said. This 2, this 2. It was 3. This number was? It was 3 only, sir. This error? This is 2 correct now? Now what it should be? 12 only, 12 by 3. Oh, I did not take this number, yes or no? Okay, fine. All right. 12 by, now it is correct, 12 by, okay. 9 by 3. 9 by 3 multiplied by, so it will be, and finally, say next. Not finally. 10 by, I am writing in smaller hand. 10 by 5 multiplied by 1, how much? 2. And the last one, say, I don't write. What is that? 4 by how much? 4 by 2 multiplied by now. Now, what we have to do is in the histogram, is it okay? Understood now? This is the rule. Okay. Now, what you have to do in the histogram, not these numbers to be plotted. So, we'll go to histogram now. We'll go to histogram like this, as it is 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, up to which number? 17. Okay. Now, here the numbers along x-axis will be these new numbers. Okay, these new numbers to be done. And in that case, numbers are small, 5, 3, 3, 6, 3, 2. So the smallest one is 2, the largest one is 6. So we can directly take 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, then 5 and 6. Done now? Now, what my aim is to explain you, 1 to 2, not this 5, that 5, although they are equal, but you have to take it from the frequency density. So 1 to 2, it is 5. Few, only 1 or 2, I'll do it here. 2 to 3, what is the number? 2 to 3, it is a 3. 2 to 3, it is 3. 3 to 5. 3 to 5, it was 6, now it has become that number to be plotted. And 3 to 5. So 3 to 5. And the 3 to 5, the number is becoming what? 3. So 3 to 5, look at this. 3 to 5, it will be 3. No division required here in the middle. Okay, so division is not required. All right, so it will be like this only. And similarly rest. What is the next one? 5 to 7. The number is, so 5 to 7. In middle, you don't have to draw this line. Then 7 to 10. 7 to 10. 8, 9 not required. Which number? That number. Yes or no? 10 to 15. 11, 12, 13, 14 not required. Directly 10 to 15. Which number? Whatever is there. Is it okay? Understood? Right? So this is how, any question on this? Modification is required. As I told you, I will be sharing after completing this topic. So this is how the table is to be modified, and then the histogram is to be drawn. Now, see, I have discussed already, these things doesn't come to make the table and all in your exams, the foundation course. Yes or no? What comes is question, interpretation. If this is the number, then what was originally? Could you understand my question? Here, suppose I got, suppose for this 10, for this 10, suppose I got 2. If it is 2, what was the actual frequency? I repeat this question. Please look at this. So when I was doing this one, when I was doing this, how much I got it here? No, this class, we did how much? 5. It was 5. How much I got here? 10 divided by 5 multiplied by, so it was 2. Now what question comes in exam? If the frequency density is 2, what was the original frequency? So what is the original frequency? Original frequency is which one? 10. So that type of question comes in your exam. How to get it? Conversely, you have to proceed. I repeat this question. If the frequency density for a particular class is 2 in this chart, so which of the following, MCQ, 4 questions, 4 options, which of the following was the correct frequency or original frequency? So it was 2, you have to get this, which number you got it? The calculation you have to proceed in here. You can also take X. How? Which number is X? This one? So let the, I hope you all know the taking X, okay? Let the original frequency was, don't write, let the original frequency be, supposing which one? X. But you should know the formula. Now, the answer frequency density they have given how much? 2. I hope you know according to the question. Okay. Procedure don't need. Just I'm showing so that you can understand. Now, frequency density was given 2. Right. Go by the formula. What is the formula? Frequency by F by H. Frequency by class size. So, frequency we don't know. We assume as. So, X by, tell me, frequency by class size. So, what is the class size? Forget about it. So, frequency by class size. What is the class size? Multiplied by lowest class size, 1. So, if you now simplify, X into 1 is X, 5 will go there, 5 to the. Alright, this is how the questions to be completed. No, I'm not putting more stress on construction because it will not come only. It will not come construction. Questions comes like this from the, from the chart or from the table. Okay. Now, so it was the original things. Let me just show it once. So this question you have completed. I won't explain it more. I just show it once. You can have a look at this. Even I showed directly this. I think you have understood what to do this. What is the difference? It's again frequency distribution. But what to do here? What to do here is I have already written. Yes or no? So the first thing you need to do here is what? The classes are not continuous. These continuous. So class intervals with boundaries. That when you make it continuous, it is also called boundary. Lower boundary, upper boundary. So how much to be subtracted and added? 13, 14, 18, 19, not continuous. No. So what to be added or subtracted? 0.5. So first you make it continuous. Rest of the things are same. Okay. Now anybody, any idea? I just ask a question, you try to answer. What is the class size here? Sorry, what is the class size here? 3. Now if you make continuous, what will be the class size in that? What is the class size here? 3. Supposing you will make continuous, because you have to make. Now when you make it continuous, what will be the class size? Increase, decrease, or remain same? The class size will increase or decrease or will remain same. I am going to show it, but I repeat the question. What is the class size here? 3, because 13 minus 10 is 3. Now when you make it continuous, what to do? 0.5? This side minus this side? Now my question is, in these new class intervals, the class size will remain 3 or it will increase or decrease? It will remain same. Let us check it. Say. I was not expecting. What to do? 0.5 minus. Subtract 0.5 from 10. 9.5. 0.5 plus in 13. Lower limit minus upper limit. So what it will be? 13 point? How much gap? Hi, what is 3? What is the gap? 4 gap. 9, 10, 11, 12. So how much gap? So class. So another question for MCQ or your exam. When you make a class continuous by or with the continuous boundaries, okay? So 0.5 reason is very simple. This side 0.5 minus this side 0.5. So one gap we have increased. So when you make the classes continuous, in the continuous classes, okay, the class width always increases by 1. It gets increases by 1. Okay. Now rest of the things are same. You make it continuous. I won't explain this again, or we will not do it again. Class sizes, you know how to do it. Now these class sizes not to be taken from here. These class sizes you have to subtract here. That's why you made it continuous. And always that is to be done. And then frequency density as it is. Is it okay? And after that, getting the histogram is same. All right. Is it okay? So when I share this PDF later, you all will go through this. And with this, the frequency, what is that? Histogram is over. We'll start with this in the next class. Okay? All right? Thank you. Thank you, all of you. Thank you.